jerseys and LA in the gold jerseys with the purple trim. This is Michael Eric going up against Justin Harper, and Harper back from his back-to-back 10-day assignments with the Detroit Pistons. Wins the draw and has the ball going up against former Bakersfield Jam forward Jameel Wilson. Harper short on the turnaround. To Holloway, the Xavier guard goes right by the LA defenders' defense, and just not getting back on transition are the defenders.
Right, and the coaches are already hollering about building the wall, which is what they're so used to doing.
Nice take by Ryan Gomes, who slipped behind Texas. And an assist to Josh Magette starts things off, as Magette, the league leader in assists per game. He's got his hands full guarding to Holloway tonight. Holloway, two-time A-10 player, first team member, I should say. And Holloway gets the assist there to his Duke backcourt mate, Andre Dawkins.
Celebrating the Blue Devils' win today in the NCAA playoffs there.
Vander Blue missing his first field goal attempt. He had 51 points last week at Bakersfield. That was a career high and second highest scoring game in the NBA Development League this season. Chris Douglas Roberts, the turnaround on Vander Blue. Those two work out together during the offseason and have the defensive matchups against each other tonight. Magette from way downtown, the southpaw missing. Jameel Wilson. For a guy his size, he can handle the basketball as he flips it out to Holloway for the three.
Holloway, I'm telling you, he's been on a roll. The last 3 games, he's had 32, 31, and 24 points. So he's coming in feeling good about his shot.
And you know he must be good because he went to Xavier and his head coach went to Cincinnati. And if a Cincinnati guy is giving a Xavier guy playing time, you know you must be good.
That's a great point right there.
That's like a Beaver giving a Duck some playing time.
That's right. That just doesn't happen.
Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Texas as the Legends were fighting with each other for the basketball off the rebound and lost it out of bounds. 7-2, a quick start for the Legends. Gomes unguarded on the inbound. That's twice now that Michael Eric has lost Ryan Gomes underneath.
And I'm trying to figure out how you sort of do that when, Mr. Ryan Gomes is 6'7", 250 pounds.
To Holloway from the free throw line, rebounded by Magette. And Magette likes to feast off those long rebounds.
You're exactly right.
Vander in the near corner. Los Angeles struggling from the floor, 2 for 7. The opening 3 minutes here from the Toyota Sports Center. Chris Douglas Roberts, the former second-round pick of the New Jersey Nets back in 2008. Waived this season by the New Orleans Pelicans, but has played over 200 games in his NBA career. Ryan Gomes, he's got every single point for Los Angeles so far.
Yes, and going back to CDR for a moment, I mean, you have to look at, I talked to Nick Van Exel, coach of the Legends, before the game. He said, we've lost so many players in such a short period of time. I said, but the veterans that you got back, I said, they can adapt on the fly so quick. And CDR is one of those kind of guys.
And they got Josh Childress coming off the bench,
yes.
Another NBA veteran.
Exactly.
A lot of talent for Texas. Again, hanging on in that playoff picture at 20-23, their record. Playoff format has changed a little bit this season. It used to be that the top seeds were able to pick their opponents in the first round, and this year it's the division leaders getting the top seed, and then the next 2 best records in the conference getting the 3rd and 4th spots in the playoffs for the East and West respectively. As Vander Blue will go to the free throw line. Chris Douglas Roberts had another bucket on the other end. And we'll keep an eye on Vander Blue, AC, at the free throw line tonight because he needs 12 made free throws to tie the NBA D-League all-time record for free throws made in the season.
And I got my money on him. He's getting 13. I'm going for it. On the limb. Don't you say it, though, because we already know.
I know better than that. Vander Blue, the league leader in points per game. As I mentioned, 51 points against Bakersfield last week on the road. A big win against the Jam. Los Angeles coming off a rare loss. The Defenders have only lost 3 times since the end of January, and they have all 3 been on the road against the Idaho Stampede as a goaltending violation after Michael Eric missed the dunk. Los Angeles has lost 3 games. So take a look at the replay here for Eric, trying to grab the ball while he's still hanging on the rim. Idaho AC, another thorn in Los Angeles' side this season. Stampede have already been eliminated from the playoffs. They've pretty much traded away all their talent, and yet somehow Los Angeles can't figure out a way to beat them as Justin Harper welcome back to the Defenders.
It's a mental thing knowing you're getting ready to travel to the state of Idaho. Okay, and so it's something they haven't been able to figure out how to overcome yet. But you're right, they have their number right now.
Chris Douglas Roberts has LA's number so far in this one. 6 points for CDR, the forward out of Memphis. Vander Blue, the floater in the lane, and those two are just going to go shot for shot.
It does not surprise me if they did, and I'm sure a couple of Vander's teammates and both guys' teammates will start coming to the party quick.
Ryan Gomes the steal, numbers for LA. Vander pull up for 3. Vander Blue has 7 points, and the Defenders are on top 16-13. Eric, a strong power step into the lane, and a delay of game warning after Eric's bucket on Texas.
Yeah, that was a good patience by Eric, knowing that he just saw the last time they had the ball. The ball went nice dunk attempt, but it did not go in, so he made sure he's going to get that bucket.
Harper double pumping in the lane, and a great use of the pivot by Justin Harper.
Yes, that up and under will get you every single time if you're on defense, and it will create a shot for you every time on offense.
Nearing the midway point of the first quarter, Los Angeles on top 18-15. There's 2 Holloway. Left-hand dribble drive and a kick out to Chris Douglas Roberts. And if you're going to come over on weak side help, you can't leave that guy open.
Yeah, I think I would start paying a little bit more attention to him because he's getting it rolling right now, so you got to be aware of that.
9 points for CDR. Jabari Brown, he's been quiet so far. Has not had a point in this one yet. Texas has lost 3 of their last 5, lost at Bakersfield on Thursday. Andre Dawkins from way downtown, and he had Jabari's hand right in his face.
Yeah, you got to give him credit for, I mean, it was probably 5 feet closer than Steph Curry, but he was still far out there.
And Dawkins gets the rebound. And a tie-up, a foul on Ryan Gomes sends us to our first timeout. Texas Legends on the road up by 3, 5:21 to go here in the first quarter. Chris Douglas Roberts leads the way.
Basically down there, and so he's like, my boy's in town. I got to come out and bring the fam.
So here's what we got. We have to make sure Christina is on the sidelines watching every time Ryan Kelly cheers for the Texas Legends. That's laps for Byron. You got to tell Byron about that.
That's exactly right. That's a great point. I'm going to have it on surveillance camera.
23-18, Texas on top. Nearing the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Eric Rothman, AC Green, Christina Kaplan with you. LA looking for 15 straight home victories as Ryan Gomes has come out with authority tonight, and he will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, great drive and patience right there. Once again, we talked about the footwork and ability to have pivots and knowing how to pivot. Ryan's he's a pro. We've talked about it before. He played almost 500 NBA games himself, so he knows exactly how to handle himself in the paint.
Ryan's going to get a lot of the load tonight because Los Angeles is without Justin Hawkins and Lazar Hayward, both of those players out due to injury. And we should mention that a brief stint with the LA Defenders for Jeff Ayers has come to an end as he was signed for the rest of the season by the Los Angeles Clippers. So after 2 games with LA after being traded by Idaho, Jeff Ayers will be added to the Defenders call-ups billboard here at the Toyota Sports Center.
Yes, indeed. I mean, life continues to get better for Jeff Ayers. He gets from Idaho to Los Angeles Defenders.
Staples Center.
To the Staples Center.
And a team that will most likely be playoff bound. So, and not only not a 10-day, a automatic signing for the remainder of the season. So good job for him.
Yes, happy for him. He works hard.
The Jet, nowhere to go on the baseline, finds Blue. Josh Childress checking into the game along with the Dang for the Texas Legends. 6 on the shot clock for Ryan Gomes. Gomes fading away. Nearly went in, just popped out into the arms of Josh Childress. Douglas Roberts with the English off the glass, and Chris Douglas Roberts has 13 points.
And that's the beauty of having veteran players, guys who just know how to play the game of basketball. They know how to read situations. You see the ball going back to the defenders here, that they don't know all the plays of the Legends right now. This is what Nick Van Exel was talking about before the game. He says, but they know how to play basketball. They can adapt on the fly.
So with Chris Douglas Roberts in there, 222 games under his belt, and Josh Childress, 391 games in the NBA under his belt. So a lot of veteran experience. And that is Dang, the forward out of Baylor with the block. And a foul on the fast break will go against Josh Majette.
Yeah, the Legends, you know, they're going to use that athleticism to really try and make this a game that they can try and control. And they're doing a good job, obviously, at the start, but from start to finish, that's what their attempt is going to be.
Los Angeles yet to go to the bench. Douglas Roberts was trapped and he threw it away. Backcourt violation. He was trying to go to Patrick Miller, the guard out of Tennessee State. And in the last game between these two teams, you think with all of the NBA veteran presence on Texas, their roster would give you a big name as the top scorer. Justin Harper hitting the 3 there, but the leading scorer was Patrick Miller, the guard from Tennessee State.
I know, and you know what? Basketball is just like that, because he took that game over in that fourth quarter of that game.
Dawkins banking it in from the elbow as he hit the deck.
He said, did you see that, RK? Did you see that?
27-23. Texas on top here in the first frame. Jabari Brown still searching for his first points in this ball game. Here's Miller. Crossover bodied by Majette. And Patrick Miller will go to the free throw line. And that is 2 quick fouls on Josh Majette.
Yeah, we knew that would be the challenge, for Josh, is that these two, as well as Patrick Miller, are both going to be trying to attack. Tu Holloway, we know, is on a fire these last few games. So Andre Ingram comes into the game to relieve. I'm sure he's going to relieve Jabari early and take, I'm sure, Miller on defense.
So Patrick Miller and Josh Majette are the same height, 6'1", but Miller has 30 pounds on Josh Majette because Miller has probably the largest arms for a point guard that I have seen in the NBA Development League.
I think he's that kind of guy that just cracks walnuts. His biceps just like pop, pop.
Majette, double team. Ingram, the floater off the glass, and Andre Ingram, that spark off the bench for LA.
There he is once again, coming in and lighting them up early.
Chris Douglas Roberts, a one-man wrecking crew. He's got 15. Xander Blue takes exception to Chris Douglas Roberts playing so well, and he tries to go ISO. Ball knocked out of bounds on the rebound. It'll be Legends basketball when we return. Chris Douglas Roberts is 15 points by the New Orleans Pelicans before the season started. It took some time off to regroup, but he looks like he is ready to go.
Yeah, he's hungry. He's hungry, and he's making a statement right now in that first quarter.
Send it down with Christina. She had a chance to talk with CDR before the game. Christina?
I did talk to CDR, but in that last time out, Nick Van Exel had to say to his guys, he likes the energy. He said that Vanderblue is going to keep attacking, so you've got to get back on him on defense. And he told them to keep up the defense, but offensively, he wants them to attack in transition.
And Michael Holyfield is into the game for Los Angeles to kind of fortify the center. And we have a defensive 3-second violation on Texas that will send Andre Ingram to the free throw line. And Andre, your NBA D-League three-point contest winner this year at the NBA D-League All-Star Game in Toronto, is the league leader all-time in three-pointers made. And really, when you talk about veterans, we talked about Texas having a lot of NBA veterans, but for LA, it's Andre Ingram and it's Ryan Gomes. And now while Andre doesn't have that NBA experience, he's got the NBA D-League experience, and he is the consummate professional.
Yeah, he is. He's the kind of guy you definitely want on your team. You're going into a battle, you want him in your foxhole.
Patrick Miller picking up and throwing down at the free throw line. Darting one in, and Miller gives Texas the 7-point advantage with 1.5 minutes to play in the first. Childress got his hand on the basketball, but his body on Vanderblue.
Interesting, he called that a block on the floor, but then the officials were able to get together and they corrected it.
Yeah, pretty clear on that replay. Vanderblue already midair when that block occurred. So Blue to the free throw line, making his third free throw of the night, so now 9 away from tying that all-time NBA D-League record for free throws made in a season. And that has been the one wrinkle of his game, that when you look at the stat sheet, you see his big point scoring numbers, and if you don't take a look about 4 columns to the right, you don't realize how often and how physical he plays to get to the free throw line.
That's exactly right. He takes a lot of hits in the course of the game.
Douglas Roberts calling for it in the far corner, and he's got 18.
He is still on fire.
Holmes the turnaround. Childress the rebound. And now Texas wants to push the pace. Childress, Euro step. Must have learned that when he was playing over in Greece.
Yes, the last couple of years playing over in Greece, and it's one of those things that he never forgets how to play basketball.
Majette left wing 3. The rebound pops out to Gomes under 1 minute to go in the first. Holyfield mismatch against Holloway. And to Holloway, credit to him, stripping the ball away from the big Michael Holyfield.
Michael Holyfield's eyes lit up so big when he saw Tu Holloway, all of 6'2", barely 180 pounds, trying to defend him in the paint.
Tu able to swipe it out of bounds. LA basketball under 30 seconds to go in the quarter. And Vanderblue back to the free throw line.
Vander, he has that ability just to draw fouls, sort of like the Lakers' Lou Williams, who just has that, knack of being able to bait you into a reach, bait you into a bump like he just did right there. And it's just one of those things that even Dang had to say, dang, how did he do that again?
How much of that, AC, comes with being patient as a ball handler?
A lot does. I mean, one, the experience, but then two, the patience to be able to wait till you create that moment, that right moment to draw that foul or that contact. And then, it's on the officials from there.
So Vanderblue hitting both of his free throws. He's got 5 already here in the first quarter, bringing LA back within 9. 20 seconds to go in the opening frame here from Los Angeles. Edie Smith checking into the game for LA. Holloway swatted away by Holyfield. Holyfield another block, this time on Childress. But Los Angeles throwing the ball away on transition, and I think Holyfield was a little upset that Tu Holloway stripped the ball from him on the last possession.
That was personal. I mean, this one right now is, you give me that ball.
Final second of the quarter, and Chris Douglas Roberts is fouled 25 feet away from the basket with 0.6 seconds to go in the quarter. And he was nowhere close to being in position to even make a good attempt at that shot.
No, but that veteran experience was able to bait another veteran, Ryan Gomes, into committing a foul. I mean, you got to create an atmosphere and give the officials, that position of saying, is it or isn't it a foul?
So Douglas Roberts now, with one more made free throw, will have 20 points in the first quarter. And not only is he perfect now 2 for 2 from the free throw line, but 8 of 9 from the floor. And the defenders, we might see some defensive adjustments to deal with Chris Douglas Roberts because he is putting on a clinic here tonight.
Yes, he is. 41 points by the Legends in the first quarter.
Texas Legends shooting 73% and out-rebounded LA 14-4, AC Green.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that basically the coach was saying, okay, guys, there's a ball game being played. Would you please come and play?
Check in with Christina.
Thanks, Eric. Coach Owens was not happy with that first quarter performance, telling the guys we didn't play for each other out there. They're shooting 71%, and we're not moving the ball. We need to find a shot for our teammates.
Thank you, Christina. And they worked the ball inside to Michael Holyfield, but he traveled. Turnover on LA. It was to Holloway for Texas, who had the field goal on the other end. 21 points for Chris Douglas Roberts, leading the way for Texas. Vanderblue has 10, Ryan Gomes 9, and Justin Harper 7 for LA. Jabari Brown still without a field goal in this ball game. Josh Childress sneaking through the trees on the baseline.
That's a good move by Josh right there, being able to change directions and getting there before Michael Holyfield could come help.
Ingram cutting across the free throw line, count the bucket and a foul.
The defenders they're getting to their style right there. As you see Andre Ingram right there, take that bump right there by Miller and able to still get a shot off. But they're getting to the point where one of the keys I mentioned earlier for them is getting the ball from one side to the other side of the court, making the Legends have to play defense. And so far they haven't been able to get that on a consistent basis, but they're getting better. They're getting closer.
Andre Ingram, multiple two-pointers in this game, which is very rare for him. We've already stuck defenders PR man Will Patterson to try to figure out the last time Andre Ingram had two-pointers in a basketball game. As Josh Childress over DJ Shumpert for the bucket. And Texas continuing to shoot lights out at 76% from the floor. Speedy Smith, the turnover, miscommunication there with Justin Harper.
Yeah, just a little timing thing between those two. They've obviously played with each other. Just a little miscommunication on that one. But Josh Childress, once again, he's starting to get it going himself. So keep an eye on that little matchup with DJ Shumpert.
15-point lead for Texas. Holloway backing in on Speedy Smith. Kick out to Wilson for three. Jabari can't handle the rebound, and Dawkins picks it up, but throws it right away to Justin Harper. Harper to Speedy Smith for the three-point attempt. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Los Angeles shooting just 39% from the floor, 3 of 10 from long range. Childress. Saved by Dawkins. And Harper and Childress collide. And it's a foul on Childress. LA basketball. Josh Childress, the foul, 8-year NBA career, spent 4 seasons with Atlanta before leaving the NBA in 2008 to go play for Olympiakos, the big club in Greece, accepting a 3-year, $20 million deal with them. And he's spoken pretty openly about it, AC, that he would not advise players to do what he did. And while he went and got a big contract. He has since said in interviews that maybe it wasn't the best decision for his career, and if he would have do it all over again, he might have had more consideration to stay in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's an honest assessment, and only he really knows what it's like to walk in those shoes at that moment. And I appreciate his honesty and his candor, because that is a decision that a lot of players still today have to really face. They might not like the situation they're in or the opportunities that are at the table or how the phone is ringing or not ringing, and they got to make a decision. It's nice to know you want it.
Absolutely, especially for $20 million.
Absolutely, no one's crying about that.
Speedy Smith, no-look pass and 2 turnovers here in the quarter for Speedy Smith. And really just a matter of Speedy trying to make things happen and trying a bit too hard.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're like, man, just the timing, just a hair off. And that's what they're just trying to get back to as the defenders right now.
Childress left alone. Childress now 3 of 6 from the floor. He came off the bench for the Texas Legends in this ballgame. Harper on the right wing. And he has now 2 3-pointers in this ballgame. And we already heard Christina in the open of this ballgame talked about how Justin, in his time with the Detroit Pistons, was the first member off the bench in the game against Toronto, and he hit 2 early threes. So he's really shown that he's very, very confident with that shot.
Yeah, he definitely wants to stroke that ball when he has a chance from that 3-point line.
Wilson trying to match Harper, and he does. Those stretch 4s for Texas and LA.
Yeah, they're trading punches right now, body shots, and somebody's going for the headshot soon.
Harper, 1-on-3, got his own board. Put back not there, and Harper will go to the free throw line. Foul on Jamil Wilson. 7:59 to go here in the second quarter.
Great attempt there, way to not give up by Justin Harper.
Jamil Wilson and Tu Holloway having a conversation with referee Jeff Wooten about the merits of that foul.
I'm not sure if any player ever feels they ever has committed a foul. I mean, I don't know. I know I didn't.
No, very rarely do the referees hear, hey, nice call.
Yeah, and that's why I've always tried to have a nice rapport with them. So, that was a good call. I didn't know you saw that one.
Harper hitting the free throws. He's now got 12. And LA needs some stops on defense, AT.
Yeah, because that man is back in. CDR.
Good job on defense. Speedy Smith guarding Tu Holloway. Now with 10 seconds on the shot clock, a couple of jab steps by Tu Holloway, and that was enough to give him the space for that 3.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to tip your hat to a guy.
Jabari Brown on the right wing. DJ Shumpert, offensive rebound, but he missed the gimme. Dawkins. And Texas has hit back-to-back 3s to take a 19-point lead. Harper. He's now hit 3 threes in the first half. And Tu Holloway is playing with 1 shoe. See how long that lasts. Texas wants to take a timeout, mainly to make sure that there's a cobbler on staff to fix Tu Holloway's shoe issue. Texas on top, 50. Los Angeles has the NBA D-League's leading scorer in Vander Blue, but he can't do it all by himself.
No, he can't, and that's the thing about it. The Legends have such firepower in that starting unit, especially, that it's going to be hard to keep up with them, especially if they're hitting it.
Harper, the block on Childress.
Right now, they throw it down to Christina Kaplan.
Thanks, guys. In that last huddle, Coach Van Exel, he's told the guys he's happy with their play, but he said the defenders are not going to stop, so we have to keep raising our level of intensity.
Defenders dropping into a zone. Thank you, Christina. Hoping that a mix-up on defensive schemes will help the outcome of this game. As DJ Shumpert fighting for the defensive rebound. Jabari Brown high off the glass, and Brown finally starting to heat up here, and he's got 4 points in the quarter.
It's a good call by Coach Casey Owens and putting a zone in just to see if he can disrupt them somehow and get their timing off as far as the Legends.
Double team on Chris Douglas Roberts, and that's about the most effective defensive play they've had against CDR tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They might have to take off his eye shields, to try and affect his ability because he's scoring at will right now.
4-0 run for Los Angeles out of the timeout. Still plenty of time here in the second quarter to make this game presentable at the half. And a turnover on Texas as DJ Shumpert got his hands in there and deflected it off of the fingertips of Josh Childress. Out of bounds off of Dawkins. LA inbound with 13 on the shot clock.
You can see the defenders are trying to find a shot for Andre Ingram somehow, some way, because they know his ability to knock down that three-pointer is 53% of the time is going in.
Josh Majette was going up in the lane and was fouled by Michael Eric. So the foul was on the floor as Josh had turned away to try to make a pass. So we'll be just in side out inbound for LA. The 4th team foul on Texas. Majette, excellent touch and going over the 6'10" forward Michael Eric. And a 3-second violation underneath on LA. Result in a technical free throw for Texas, but sometimes that happens when you drop into that zone. Someone sits in the center of it and decides not to vacate the premises.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go in that paint and squat, be a squatter. You got to keep your feet moving. You got that 2.9 basically seconds that you got to get in and out. Officials are on top of that here in the D-League as well as in the NBA.
6-1 run in the last minute of play for LA. As Holloway missing the 3, Harper pushing the pace. Jabari pull up from 18 feet, and Jabari Brown has 6 points in the last 2 minutes for LA. Defenders have woken up a little bit here with 4:44 to play in the half, and Douglas Roberts will go back to the free throw line.
First personal, second team foul. Chris Douglas Roberts shooting 2.
Foul on Jabari Brown, his first. Douglas Roberts already tonight 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. 6'7", 200 pounds, a guard out of Memphis, Chris Douglas Roberts. 29 years old, already 7 years NBA experience under his belt. And the Detroit native in his 9th game with the Texas Legends after taking 6 months away from basketball after being waived by the Pelicans before the season began. Harper and Childress fighting for the basketball, and Childress called for the foul. Second foul on Childress, and now AC, one more foul on the Legends will send the defenders into the bonus, and 4:29 to go here in the first half.
Right, and that's sort of the kind of break and hopefully momentum shift for the defenders.
And a nice slip cut by DJ Shumpert, and an assist by Josh Majette, who already has 8 assists here in the first half. Shimmy shake for CDR, and he gets the friendly bounce for his 25th point of the night. Harper floating in the lane, CDR the rebound. Skip pass knocked out of bounds by Ingram, 3:52 on the game clock.
And you see the Legends. I mean, they're sort of working. They see the ebb and flow of this game. Now the defenders are making their run, coming back a little bit, and so they're trying to slow down and get into their offensive set and stop the little transition run that they had earlier, and adapt to what the defenders are doing with this zone.
Douglas Roberts, just his second missed field goal in 11 attempts. Jabari Brown, transition three. And the 9th assist by Josh Majette cuts the lead down to 8.
Defenders fall back into that same zone, getting some success. They just got to hope Legends are going to miss.
Douglas Roberts is not the one to do it.
No.
Now 3 3-pointers on the night, 28 points in the first half. Harper stripped and a foul. Foul on to Holloway. That's his first personal. And Harper to the free throw line. He's got 15 points tonight on 5 of 11 shooting. But we see Harper confident, driving to the basket, and a lot of times we see when guys get those 10-day call-ups, they come back standing up a little bit taller when they return to the D-League.
Yep, that is exactly right. You know, it just does something for a guy's psyche, because ultimately they want to be in the NBA. They want to play there. And so just to go and get that experience, it just does wonders for a guy. Couldn't be more proud of someone who, you know, Justin's worked very hard this year with what we've seen.
Back-to-back 10 days, so 20 days of NBA experience with the Pistons. Not to mention a nice little paycheck as well. That's never hurt.
And some good home cooking from his family back there in that Detroit area.
Absolutely. Holloway trapped underneath, kicked it out. Douglas Roberts missing the three-pointer. Coach Casey Owens imploring his team to go, 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 and go he does. Jabari Brown, the lay-in, and Jabari has taken over in the second half of the second quarter. Foul underneath on DJ Shumpert will send Michael Eric to the free throw line with 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're going up and down. It's your turn, my turn, and they're all are super, super athletic. I love their lineup as far as the Legends go.
This is Michael Eric at the free throw line, the forward out of Temple. Native of Nigeria. She spent his rookie season 3 years ago with the Canton Charge, but played the last 2 seasons abroad in Italy. And now returning to the D-League and anchoring this Texas Legends front line. 2:22 to go in the second quarter. Texas on top 65-57. Eric Rothman, AC Green, Christina Kaplan here with you from the Toyota Sports Center in El Segundo, California. Andre Ingram stepped on the sideline and a turnover on LA. A lot of big numbers here in the first half between these two teams. It's already 122 points combined. Chris Douglas Roberts has 28. Justin Harper has 17, leading the way for LA, but Josh Majette already has 9 assists in this first half. Great hands by DJ Shumpert, who got in the passing lane, knocked the ball out of its trajectory and off the foot of Chris Douglas Roberts out of bounds.
Yeah, the defenders have done a good job in clawing their way back into getting this into a single-digit deficit right now. So let's see what they're going to be able to do the last minute.
Bari Brown spins away from one defender, but blocked by Michael Eric underneath as Eric came over on help side D. And the ball will be out of bounds off of LA as it rolled off of Jabari's foot. And now a technical foul assessed to the coaching staff of the LA Defenders. And I believe it was Paul Woolpert, the assistant coach, called for the technical foul. And now Coach Casey Owens wants a bit of an explanation.
Well, they're definitely talking about it right now, and Coach is going to bat for his staff, but that's not going to change the outcome. They did score 1 point at that free throw line, and they still have the ball as far as the Legends can open up this lead even more.
Back out to a 9-point lead. It was as many as 19 here in the second quarter. Josh Magette tiptoeing the sideline for the steal. Magette off the glass and in as he tackles our cameraman on the baseline.
Oh, I tell you what, cameramen, they love that. They live for that moment right there when the action comes right up on top of them.
And so we hope that not only is David all right, but we hope that the camera's okay too.
Well,
we need that angle.
David's looking good, and the camera's giving the thumbs up.
Josh Magette couldn't break a camera if he tried. Minute to play in the second quarter. 66-59 Texas. Patrick Miller. Good ball movement by Texas. Douglas Roberts, the floater, but he came up short. Rugby scrum as the ball is pinched out of bounds.
And that's the 50-50 balls that the defenders have to have when they're down like this. You got to give them a lot of credit. This unit right here has brought them back into the game.
Magette flips it, no look. Schumpert hitting the 15-footer, and Josh Magette has 10 first-half assists.
Great pass by Josh. DJ, great focus, great shot, timely basket.
Credit DJ Schumpert because his defensive effort has really sparked LA. And the ball goes out of bounds off of the Legends. Referees want to talk about who touched it last, and they confer and confirm that it is Texas basketball. 29.8 seconds to go in the half. Holloway nowhere to go. Underneath to Roberts, and he is fouled. And Josh Magette cannot believe he just picked up his third foul. And Chris Douglas Roberts will go back to the free throw line.
Veteran play right there with Chris Douglas Roberts. Saw us get into that third, fourth, and fifth count, approaching really quick, and he just ran right under the basket and used his size over Josh Magette.
Douglas Roberts, 29 points now, one away from 30. And we'll keep in mind that the single game scoring record for this season for the Development League is 61 points by Jordan McCray earlier this year. And Douglas Roberts halfway there with 30.
And I don't think we've called a game, partner. Now someone scored 30 and a half.
I do not believe we have either. Vander's come close.
Yes, he has a couple times.
Ingram left alone, wide open. Harper, the tip follow is good with 8.7 seconds to go in the half. Final 5 seconds of the half. Douglas Roberts trying to get open. Had the ball popped out. Harper, the heave. And missing wide right. But Los Angeles woke up in the second quarter. They trailed by as many as 19. They have cut the lead down.
So I'm excited for them. They're guys I know well now, so I'm happy to watch them play.
Thanks for coming out.
You got it.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. So I'm sure we will be invited to the Dawkins wedding as well, I have to assume. We'll be Ryan's +1 and +2. Chris Douglas Roberts missing the turnaround to start the third quarter. Eric Rothman, AC Green, Christina Kaplan with you. Jabari Brown picks up exactly where he left off, and that's scoring points.
Yes, and CDR, he was too close to the basket. He got points in the paint. I'm surprised he missed that one.
Holloway, the answer from the free throw line to Holloway. Now 5 of 9 from the floor for 14 points.
It's already a different flow for the defenders in this first minute of the third quarter.
Michael Eric picking up his second personal for the Texas Legends. First foul of the third quarter on either team. Here's Josh Magette. We neglected to mention that Josh, with his 10 assists in the first half, broke his own LA Defenders franchise record for most assists in a season. He had 347 assists 2 years ago with LA, and he is up to 353 now with his 11 assists tonight. So congratulations to Josh Magette, adding yet another line to the record books here with the Defenders.
Yes, and tell you what, no one works harder than Josh, so I'm really happy for him.
That is pass knocked out of bounds by CDR. It's a three-pointer by Andre Dawkins for Texas. Los Angeles coming out with their starting five. The Jet has it stripped by Holloway. Dawkins tiptoes to the right wing. Nearly had back-to-back threes. Ball knocked around to Douglas Roberts, who spins baseline. Gomes right in front of them. Holloway, step back in the free throw circle is good. To Holloway now with 16 points. And Vanderblue called for the travel.
Yeah, the Defenders, they're better when they're moving the ball side to side. It's very obvious. And the Legends, they're looking for an open shot. And to Holloway right now, he's been able to create his own shot 15, 17 feet, and he's knocked them down.
We'll see how long Coach Owens sticks with the starters because, as you mentioned a couple times, AC, Dawkins now hits back-to-back three-pointers here to start the third quarter. You mentioned it a couple times, but it was the unit that had Andre Ingram and DJ Shumpert at the end of that second quarter that really propelled Los Angeles to their comeback. Vanderblue the lay-in and regroups after being called for the travel on the last play.
Yeah, and that group in particular, they went to that zone, that 2-3 zone, and it really caused a little havoc and disrupted the chemistry of the Legends.
Holloway dumps it off inside. Douglas Roberts can't find it. Michael Eric there for the second effort. The Jet baseline. Harper gets the dish, hits the deck, no foul. Holloway, nice no look to Eric. Can't hit the bunny, got his own board, and just like that, the Texas Legends have a 15-point lead. It was Chris Douglas Roberts.
They did. They kept things under control. So let's see exactly, maybe right now that timeout probably helped the Defenders. Let's see how they come out now.
Everybody clap your hands.
Harper trying to do it himself, and Justin Harper now 21 points. Holloway dump off Michael Eric. That combination has been deadly here in the third. Michael Eric up to 9 points. Harper spinning. Can't get the touch, fighting for the board, and knocks out to Holloway. Holloway has 9 assists. One more gives him a double-double with his 16 points. Lost the ball off of the foot of Josh Magette. And a kick save and a beauty by my broadcast partner, AC Green.
Yes, you should have saw that too. That was perfect.
And there it goes right off the foot of Josh Magette. Good call by Jason Goebel, the referee. Good hands by Jabari Brown, stealing it away from Douglas Roberts. And now Douglas Roberts fouls Brown on the transition. It'll be the second team foul on the Legends. And how about Chris Douglas Roberts? 30 points in the first half, now switching over. He's got 5 rebounds in the first 4.5 minutes of this third quarter. No points, but starting to clean up on the glass and getting his teammate To Holloway involved.
Yeah, and once again, that's our experienced players right there. They'll find a way to be effective.
Holloway, the steal. To Holloway. And he is fouled hard by Harper. But To Holloway is the second half version of Chris Douglas Roberts.
Yeah, and that's, you look at the Legends, once again, they just have such talented players. They have athletic players, and you wonder, well, why haven't they won more games? Well, I'm sorry, but this unit they have right now here in this game, they've only been together 4 or 5 games. You know, so it's just one of those things that they're trying to make a push, as we talked about in our opening, to maybe sneak into the playoff position. You never know. Right now, they just have to win every game and win out.
Drew Holloway, the 2011 A-10 Player of the Year out of Xavier, has spent his entire professional career abroad, Puerto Rico, Belgium, Venezuela, Mexico, since being undrafted in 2012, coming back stateside, and he's got 17 points, 9 assists for the Legends tonight, as Harper, the offensive rebound off the Majette miss. Holloway, that's just too easy. Vander Blue baseline drive and one as Dawkins fouled him.
Foul number 24, Dawkins. First personal, 13th foul.
See there, Dawkins. Not a lot of contact. Vander Blue will get to the free throw line regardless. Vander now with 6 free throws. He needs 6 more to tie the NBA D-League all-time record for free throws made in a season. 7 more to take that lead. Jabari Brown getting in the face of Chris Douglas Roberts. Good effort by Jabari. Holloway missing. Michael Eric, the offensive rebound. And I'm not sure how that's not a travel, as Dawkins took a giant leap backwards to get beyond the three-point arc without taking a dribble. Vander Blue knocks down the 3 and stares down the Texas Legends bench.
Dawkins step back, I blame that on Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors.
You could take a little step back, but that was about a 4.5-foot step back.
I agree.
Harper coming over and an offensive foul on Dawkins. And now a technical foul on Andre Dawkins. It's the second technical foul that referee Jason Goebel has called tonight. First one was on assistant coach Paul Wolpert for LA. Now this one on Andre Dawkins after arguing the offensive charge that was assessed to him a moment ago.
You never know what little thing, what one moment might start turning this around, and that momentum for the defenders.
They're back within 9 halfway through the third quarter. Jet step back, kick out to Gomes. 5 on the shot clock. Ryan darts one in, and Vander Blue is there for the and one follow-up dunk.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that? A little bit tonight, not a normal Vander Blue line at this point in time, but I'm telling you, just one play, one moment turns things around.
Vander with 20 points is now over the 20-point mark for the 21st time in his last 24 games. He was the NBA D-League Player of the Month in February, and he's the league's leading scorer. He's got 21 and a foul out of the break on Josh Majette. That's Josh's 4th foul. And that's a big blow if he has to take a seat, because he has 13 assists tonight already.
Yeah, well, we all know he's the floor general for the defenders, so that one was unnecessary. He definitely can't pick up another one.
Mismatch underneath, Childress on Majette. Majette got some help, but that left Holloway open, and that's an easy jumper for Drew Holloway, who now has 21. Majette has had 15 assists in a game twice this season, franchise record. Kick out, Harper, the three-pointer is drained by Justin Harper, and assist number 14 for Josh Majette. Harper now with 26 points. 9 of 18 is returned to Los Angeles. Holloway fading away, nowhere to go. Vander Blue, an easy steal. Vander 1-on-2, flips it behind him to Gomes, and he gets the roll. And now a technical foul on Ryan Gomes for a delay of game. That is the second time the defenders have been warned.
Great touch pass right there by Vanderblue, not forcing up a bad shot. And really, it was a header, okay?
It was a header, and he tried to say, hang on 1 second, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. Don't call it technical on me. And it was just too late. And Ryan Gomes shouts to referee Jeff Wooten, said, I thought I was playing soccer, my bad. Oh, the tongue-in-cheek Ryan Gomes after getting called for the technical foul. LA is within 4. Plenty of time to go. 4:23 to play in the third quarter. And now a foul off the ball as Chris Douglas Roberts and Jabari Brown get tangled up. And it's Brown who is whistled. Eight on the shot clock. Patrick Miller off the heel. Majette looking around, trying to find some gold jerseys. Ahead to Jabari Brown for the baseline drive and the finish.
Great pass by Josh. Patience and probing the court, but Jabari, he knows how to finish. You give him an opportunity.
Josh Majette, 15 assists, tying his franchise record. Now Gomes wants to run the break. Vanderblue trying to give LA the lead. Rebound by Wilson. Holloway, step back jumper from 18 feet. Holloway is feeling it tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about his shot has just been so pure in his last 2-3 games. I'm not surprised.
Six on the shot clock. Gomes backing in on Douglas Roberts. Underneath Harper, and he is fouled.
Number 7, Josh Childress.
Nice unselfish pass right there. Good cut by Harper, drawing a foul underneath.
And we have another technical foul. It's on head coach of the Texas Legends, Nick Van Exel. And now Nick Van Exel has been ejected from this ball game. Back-to-back technical fouls on Nick Van Exel. And he is headed to the locker room. And I believe he was arguing the fact that Chris Douglas Roberts had to come over to the bench and replace his eyewear because on the play that he was guarding Ryan Gomes, it looked like Gomes might have clipped him when turning around to face the basket, and I think it broke his glasses. And so Douglas Roberts came over to the bench to try to switch out his glasses, and Nick took exception to that and started talking up referee Jason Goebel and got back-to-back technical fouls for the ejection. And so now we've had, I believe, 5 technical fouls tonight. One of those being a delay of game call on Ryan Gomes, with the other 4, the one on Los Angeles, the one on Holloway, and the 2 on Nick Van Exel have all been called by referee Jason Goebel. So Jason is hogging the technical fouls tonight.
Yeah, you might want to just have a very limited conversation with Mr. Goebel. But Butler and Wooten, the whole crew, actually, they've done a good job. And it's, you get a lot of chirping in any game. I'm just more concerned that the defenders keep their composure. They fought their way back to a tie score now. So this is a brand new game right now.
Childress can't hit the follow as we're tied up at 92. 3-on-3. Jabari Brown tripping in the lane. Vanderblue trying to volleyball it in. And now a technical foul behind the play on Jabari Brown. And Jabari Brown has been ejected. Jabari Brown picks up back-to-back technical fouls as referee John Butler is getting into the action. And Butler the one calling back-to-back fouls on Jabari Brown, as Brown was arguing that he should have been fouled on the fast break. So we have had 2 ejections in the last 15 seconds of game time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean by a chirpy. you know, the birds are chirping right now. You got to find your way to keep your composure. And Andre Ingram looks like he's going to come in replacing Jabari Brown. But both teams have a chance to win. This game is definitely lying in the balance. So who can control themselves the most and the best, probably going to pull it out.
And it's two teams that want to win, two teams that are fighting to clinch playoff berths. Texas on the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs. Los Angeles trying to win the division and get home court. So now we have lost to ejection Texas Legends head coach Nick Van Exel and Jabari Brown for the Los Angeles Defenders. And it has been quite the talkative game. And now a timeout taken for the Texas Legends, taking over for the ejected Nick Van Exel as we send it down to Christina.
Thanks, Eric. The mood in that timeout, not maybe what you would have expected. Walter Pitts was calm. He said, we're good. He cautioned his guys. He said, no matter how bad you think the call is, leave it alone.
Thank you, Christina. That has been an issue for both teams as Jabari Brown has also been ejected. Los Angeles Defenders. Patrick Miller steps inside the arc. Ryan Gomes the rebound.
Yep, it's a game of composure right here. Who's going to now execute the best? Legends got a great shot, just licked right out the last time. Now let's see what the defenders could do with their possession.
Andre Ingram missing the floater.
2 minutes to remaining in the third quarter.
Jameel Wilson steps into a long three, and Wilson sends the Texas Legends lead back out to 5. Ryan Gomes trying to answer. Two teams now trading three-pointers. Chris Douglas Roberts just 2 points in this third quarter after having 30 points in the first half. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Andre Dawkins, and one from long range. Andre Ingram called for the foul as we had some Andre on Andre crime.
Yes, Andre on Andre, exactly right. And that was one actually a heck of a shot right there.
Well, that's a terrible call. I'm sorry.
You're gonna get a okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm holding you back right now. I'm just holding you back. Don't say that louder.
I usually hold my tongue, but there was about a good 8 inches of space between Andre Ingram and Andre Dawkins. Goodness gracious.
Well, I know one thing. His best man, Ryan Kelly, did like that shot.
It was right in front of him. Oh, goodness. 101-92. Vanderblue left wing three off the mark. Good pass. Chris Douglas Roberts on the breakaway. Credit Patrick Wilson for getting away the pass very quickly. Excuse me, Patrick Miller, I should say. Shumpert on the baseline. Vanderblue behind the back. Back to Shumpert for the two-hand flush.
Great movement right there of the ball by the defenders. But they are finding themselves in a position where they got to start stepping up their defensive effort again.
Jameel Wilson, rainbow three, rebounded by Ingram. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Jet flips it to Vanderblue, fading away. And Shumpert trying to get the second effort, but missing 2 good chances at the bucket.
Great effort by DJ right there. And it's one of those things that you almost have to just tip it in an area and go get it so you can secure a possession, because he was sort of at an awkward disadvantage.
Miller, crossover, muscling it up off the glass, and a foul with 3.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Called on DJ Shumpert. It's his second personal.
And the funny thing, partner, is that just seems like seconds ago we were talking about a score of tied at 92.
Yep.
And then in a snap.
Yeah, 9-2 run. Excuse me, a 12-2 run. My apologies, a 12-2 run in the last 2 minutes for the Texas Legends. And credit Texas for not laying down amidst their losing their head coach due to an ejection. And Los Angeles really turning on the heat as they have extended their lead back out to 11. Final 3 seconds of the third quarter. Vander Blue for three, rattles out. Vander slamming the table on the sideline, angry with the missed shot. (105-94), Texas Legends on top of the LA Defenders as we start the fourth quarter here in Los Angeles. Defenders were able to tie the game at 92 apiece, but it's been a 13-2 run to end the third quarter for the Legends as Justin Harper starts things off the right way for the Defenders here in the fourth.
Yeah, that was a tough shot too by Harper right there. A little step back with one leg. Looks like another guy from Texas area by the name of Dirk Nowitzki.
Miller, good ball fake as he faked the pass to Childress and pulled up for the jumper. Harper knew it was a miss as soon as he let it go as he was chasing down the rebound. The ball will stay with Los Angeles. Oh, excuse me, it will be Texas basketball. Nope, I take that back. It will be LA basketball. Michael Eric was trying to stand on the baseline and take the ball for the Legends. It will be LA basketball. Vander Blue, the floater. Childress nearly knocked it in his own goal. And now a 2-on-3. Texas doesn't have numbers, but that won't stop Chris Douglas Roberts, who now has 36 points.
And Douglas Roberts, he read the situation just right there. So they're attacking the basket and just shot the easy 8-footer.
Josh Magette, the three-pointer. Magette tonight, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 15 assists. Magette on a mismatch defensively, guarding the much taller Douglas Roberts. 6 on the shot clock. Miller underneath the Childress. Ball loose. 2 to shoot. Miller wedging the ball in the rim, and it will be a jump ball. And that's about a best-case scenario for Texas, who would have lost that ball as the shot clock was expiring.
Defenders coach is obviously lobbying that it was 24-second shot clock expired. And
tough to tell.
Yeah, but whatever these officials decide, I won't argue.
No, you won't, because you'll be in the locker room. You'll be back to Manhattan Beach before we know it.
Exactly.
There will be a jump ball. The shot clock did not expire. Michael Holyfield into the game for LA will take the jump against Michael Eric. Holyfield wins the uncontested draw. 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Vander Blue, a kiss off the glass.
Good touch, Vander.
Vander Blue now has 23 points. LA back within 8. Childress in the lane. Michael Eric, the tip follow is good, but the whistle on the floor negates the basket. Nope, it does not. Referee Jeff Woot correcting himself. He originally called the foul on the floor, and after conferring with referee Jason Goebel, decided to count the bucket. So an and one for Michael Eric.
I'm just going to say I agree. Because,
probably best at this point in time.
Yeah, I've learned, okay? I've just become a little wiser.
We have had 6 technical fouls tonight. Andre Dawkins with 1 for Texas. Nick Van Exel, their head coach, had 2. He was ejected. Paul Wolpert, the assistant for the LA Defenders, got called for 1 in the first half. Jabari Brown picked up 2 of his own. He was ejected. It's Andre Ingram We'll go to the free throw line. Michael Eric called for the block. And not to mention, AC, but we've had 2 technical fouls for defensive 3-second violations and 1 technical foul for a delay of game. So 9 total.
I mean, sooner or later, your arm has to get tired. I mean, really, come on. I mean, it's the technical, you know. Sooner or later, you're like,
start hurting that finger. You keep pounding the.
Yeah, technical, timeout. I mean, that whole motion that, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Andre Ingram hits the free throws. LA within 9. Defenders need some stops. Miller, good crossover, kick out. Childress strains the 3. The Legends have hit 13 of 27 3-pointers tonight. Holyfield muscling it in, and Josh Majette, a new franchise record in assists in 1 game. That's number 16. He breaks his own record, which he's hit twice this season at 15 with this assist here.
Great touch right there by Josh Majette, and great concentration by Holyfield. Inbounds violation, turns it right back over to the defenders.
So Majette has broken 2 franchise records tonight. That's total assists in a season and assists in 1 game. Harper, reverse layup, no good. Miller pushing the pace with a head of steam. Offensive foul.
That's where you say those biceps are a little bit too powerful, right there. Because Josh was on his way to LAX airport.
Josh will have to catch his breath a little bit after being knocked around by Patrick Miller. Still a 10-point advantage, though, for Texas. So every time Los Angeles gets close and gets a sniff of that lead, Legends come up with a big shot. The Jet, Ingram, big 3 from the corner.
That's the guy you want to find.
Assist number 17 for Josh Majette. Holloway weaving inside, the rebound by Holyfield. And now a foul off the ball goes against Los Angeles.
Offensive foul number 21,
Michael Holyfield called for the foul in the interior. Six on the shot clock, an offensive foul on Michael Eric. He used that elbow to get inside. And now a technical foul on Los Angeles. Michael Holyfield picking up the 10th technical foul of this ball game.
Well, the problem right there, it was a hook. And so they called that one, but it was the taunting call with Holyfield staring down the Legends player. So, I don't know. Eric was one of those kind of guys who just got caught up in the moment. Like, Eric's big, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Two big boys playing, man. Just let them play in the playground.
And Holyfield got the call. I mean, the foul was on Michael Eric, so nothing you should be arguing about. So it's an 8-point game, LA basketball. Ingram. Back-to-back threes for Andre Ingram. And LA is within 5.
Great execution there by the defenders on the offensive end. Now what will they do on the defensive end?
Childress one-on-one with Blue. Backing inside, up with the left hand, Josh Childress. And a delay of game technical foul on Texas. Unbelievable. That is the 11th technical foul in this game.
Well, there is the wonderful George Tolliver, who is here watching, who's head over all the officials, and making sure these guys are developing at a rate and a pace. And so they know that. Their boss is watching. So 11 technicals does speak for itself. And that's why I'm saying the guys are doing a good job. You know, it's a tough game, you know, and it's a fast game. And it's a bang-bang calls. And so I don't think I ever went home with a technical.
All right, we're back on track. 11 technical fouls in this ball game, 2 ejections. A wild one here in LA. Andre Ingram has hit 3 field goals in a row, 8 straight points. Defenders down 4. Ingram now has 17 points total off the bench for LA. Ingram really picking up for where Jabari Brown left off after he was ejected. 5 on the shot clock. Holloway double team, strip steal, out of bounds. Texas basketball, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Holloway inbound, Childress, and the defenders weren't ready. Six-point game under 6 minutes to go. With all these technicals, you forget we've got a basketball game here, AC.
That's exactly right.
Ryan Gomes drains the 3, and it's number 19, the assist from Josh Majette.
19 dimes, 19.
And a foul on the floor on Vander Blue will take us to a timeout. And we hope that cooler heads will prevail when we return in the NBA Development League, but he is getting up there.
He is approaching that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it fell tonight. He giving that ball to Andre Ingram.
Ingram feeling it with 17 points. Send it down to Christina.
Thanks, Eric. In that last timeout, Ryan Gomes stepped up and altered the play that Casey Owens was originally going to run. So it'll be interesting to see what they run right now.
Excellent work, Christina. Thank you. And so starts with Vander Blue up top. One-on-one against Wilson. And Blue will go to the free throw line. Eric Rothman, AC Green, Christina Kaplan here with you in one of the wildest games all season long. And Jamil Wilson called for the foul. Vander Blue at the free throw line.
Jamil Wilson got called for the foul. He went up to Jeff Woodman, the official, and he walked up to about 8 feet away from him, and then he just made a gesture. It's like, and then he just turned around and walked back to the
Well, you'd be smart to do that. As we recap, we have had 11 technical fouls tonight. 7 of those have been on an actual player. 4 of those have been the result of defensive 3-second violations or delay of game, as each team has had 1 of those each apiece. We've had 2 ejections, Nick Van Exel and Jabari Brown. And we've got a tight ball game, 120-118. Los Angeles searching for their 15th straight home victory. Jamil Wilson making the gap 4.
Yeah, it's definitely going back and forth right now. Execution is going to be the most important part here, it looks like.
Five seconds to shoot. Majette from way downtown. Josh Majette now a double-double with 10 points, 19 assists.
And a 1-point game, baby.
Holloway to Douglas Roberts. Pump fake, steps inside. Majette the rebound. Majette, Ingram for the lead. Andre Ingram has 20 points. And the defenders are up by 2.
And plenty of play together, and they'll find a way to give themselves a chance at the end of the game.
Andre Ingram, the star here in the fourth quarter. He's got 14 points in the quarter. 3 of those field goals coming from beyond the 3-point line. All loose. Shot clock winding down. 6 for Holloway. Flies inside, dumps it to Eric, and an and one. Michael Eric to the free throw line.
And Holloway is the one who made all that happen with that first step, direct line to the basket. Eric just feeds off of that energy.
Michael Eric, a double-double in his own right, 14 points, 13 rebounds on 6 of 9 shooting. And he gives Texas the advantage again. 1-point lead for the Legends with 3:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ingram had the ball knocked from behind. 3-on-1. Wilson the lay-in, but a foul is called. He missed the lay-in, but a foul on Josh Magette. That's his 5th personal foul. And the defenders are going to review the foul call. And if that's the look that the referees see. And so Wilson at the free throw line. Probably the bigger story is the fact that that's the 5th foul on Josh Magette. And if he were to pick up one more, he would be disqualified from the game, which is not only big because he obviously has 10 points, 20 assists, and 6 rebounds. But this team has already lost Jabari Brown to an ejection. And this game could go to overtime. And they're already not only missing Jabari Brown, but Justin Hawkins and Lazar Hayward are out with an injury.
Yep, you hit it all on the head. They're short-handed, and they need their floor general.
The Jet will stay in the game. Wilson unable to hit any of the threes. Harper reclaims the lead for Los Angeles. The defenders are 6 of 7 from 3-point line in the fourth quarter. Wilson up top. Tip followed by Michael Eric. He was left alone. .127 apiece. Gomes at the free throw line, trading haymakers.
They are. I'm telling you, this is a heavyweight fight, baby. I'm loving this. You know that. I'm sweating already.
We are in the championship rounds. 2 heavyweights. Holloway kicked out. And the 3 is good by Patrick Miller. The Jet calling for it in the lane. Left-handed layup not there. And a rebound by Eric. Under 2 minutes to play. Los Angeles down by 1. Chris Douglas Roberts lips out the 3. He was left alone in the corner. The defenders pushing it up the court. Vander Blue kick out. Harper no look to Ingram, and they'll reset back to Harper for 3. Missed it short. Harper, who has a season high 35 points, misses the 3 badly there. And it will be Texas basketball with 1:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Eric Rothman, AC Green, Christina Kaplan here with you in a wild, wild affair here in El Segundo. The fans, the sellout crowd at the Toyota Sports Center, have been treated to a heavyweight battle. Legends basketball up by 1. Time is on their side. Patrick Miller driving, flip to Michael Eric for the slam. 3-point lead for Texas. Nine on the shot clock. The Jet near corner to Gomes. 3 to shoot. Holloway the steal and a foul. Foul on the floor to Holloway, the pickpocket on Josh Magette, as that play just took way too long to develop.
Yeah, sometimes you have a play called, but you got to be able to call the audible and just recognize the situation. The 3 wasn't there. You got to take the 2, and they had a couple opportunities that I saw. Great idea by Josh, but the back dribble right there, where you have 3 seconds left, you got to get something going to the basket, unless it's just going to be a desperation.
So it's Texas basketball up by 3. Patrick Miller to bring it over the timeline for the Legends. Andre Ingram guarding him. 13 on the shot clock. Miller, kick out. Wilson for 3, makes it a 6-point game, and a timeout taken by LA. They need a quick bucket here. Ingram to inbound. Gets it into Harper, guarded by Wilson. Ryan Gomes, turnaround 3, off the mark. Douglas Roberts, the rebound and a foul.
That was a good look.
It was a good look. Ryan Gomes had a shot at it. So now the Legends hang on for the next 13 seconds. Will pick up their 21st victory of the season and stay in the running for that wild card spot in the Western Conference playoffs. A big victory for them if they can hold on. Chris Douglas Roberts, the star in the first half, had 30 points. He's had 7 now in the second half. Him and teammate Tu Holloway carrying the load for much of this basketball game. And Douglas Roberts hits both of his free throws. LA uses their advance rule to bring it over into the front court. Now down by 8. Coach Owens instructing Justin Harper to pop and shoot if he's got to look at it. The Jet steps back for a long 3 off the heel. And the comeback effort comes up short for the Los Angeles Defenders in a wild game against the Texas Legends. We had